Hello everyone, it is the 12th of May 2024, a Sunday. Hope you're doing well. I've got a little bit of time this Sunday afternoon to do a couple things on the car, weather permitting. Small chance of rain this afternoon. I had ordered a replacement door light switch for my left rear door. Um, they're expensive, but at least I found one. This is the old one that broke, and here's the replacement. What I found so interesting about this, and this is an NOS Ford part. What I found so interesting is that online the part was advertised as for the right-hand door, not the left-hand door. But when I compared my old one with the images I saw online, it matched what they say was the right-hand door, but in fact it was actually the left-hand door. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I got the right part. So I'll eventually install that. I have to take the door panel off and all that, and the door latch to install it. Um, but that's not my highest priority right now. I also ordered a fan belt or to drive the compressor, the air conditioning compressor. Can't get those locally, at least not for a reasonable price. So I ordered it, I believe, on Amazon. It's supposed to come here yesterday, but they had a delay, so I'll have it tomorrow. Again, that's not a high priority, but I do want to at least test the compressor. Haven't installed it yet anyway, so there's no rush on that. But I was going to drive the car yesterday, taking on a little like 25-mile trip, 50 miles round trip. Hadn't gotten very far from home. I was getting up to speed, and it's making an awful lot of racket from the rear end somewhere. It's something's loose. Either lug nuts are loose, or the backing plate that holds the axle in place is loose, or I got a bad bearing, maybe an axle bearing. I don't think it's the drive line, the drive shafts, as I rebuilt those CV joints last year. Um, so today I'm going to focus on trying to figure out what's going on back there. It was bad enough, vibrating enough and all that, that I didn't feel safe taking it anywhere. So I brought it back home and took my other car to what I had to do. So I'm going to start in the right rear because that seems to be where the noise is coming from. I hope it's something simple, loose nuts or something, but I can just tighten it up and it'll be fine, but I don't know. If I can't figure it out fairly easily, then I'm probably going to put the car up on jack stands, the rear end of it, so I can let it spin and listen for the noise, see if I can pinpoint it that way. So that's where I'm starting today. I'm going to get the right rear car of the car off the ground and work on that, and we'll see what happens from there. I think you may have already found the source of my problem. Even before I got the wheel off, I looked underneath and could see something wasn't right. And what's not right is the inside of my tire has been rubbing up against my flex pipe for my exhaust system. I thought I'd created enough clearance, but judging by how much of the rubber has been rubbed off here, you can see the signs are very clear here. That is very likely the source of the noise that I was hearing. Um, I'm guessing anyway. The lug nuts were certainly not loose at all. They were very tight from my mechanics, or putting the tires on and everything. But I'm still going to pull the drum off just to take a quick peek inside. But I do believe this is probably the source of my problem. Now, I have recently found somebody online, I think it was Facebook again, who was advertising for a complete Midas set mufflers and resonators, NOS. So I'm waiting for him to reply and send me some pictures. I really don't need the resonators, but if he's not willing to sell them separately, I'll just buy the whole set and have a spare set of resonators. But um, unless I can figure out a way to force this over enough to clear the tire, I may just have to wait until I get the proper form for the muffler. That's just one continuous piece from right here that connects to the flange and all that, and is engineered so it doesn't hit the tire like this one is. But it looks like that's probably the source of my problem right there. I got the drum off. It's obvious that the brakes are definitely engaging. I mean, I didn't think they weren't, but it's always good to see evidence that they're actually working. So you can clearly see that they are being used. I did check the other side too, and the other tire is not rubbing on the left side. It's not touching it. I'm really surprised actually, because I really thought I had cleared it, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. But I don't know if there's something I can do temporarily until I can get a better fix or not. But I'll try. All right, on the right rear wheel, I put the wheel back on. I'm not going to be driving the car until I have a solution. Hopefully that gentleman will respond to me on Facebook pretty soon, so I can go ahead and buy the mufflers from him. Um, I could probably figure out a solution, but I'd rather just get the right parts for it. So in the meantime, I'm now replacing that door light switch in the left rear door, and then I'll move on to the air conditioning compressor. So you can see here that I've got the door all taken apart, and there's the new switch. All right, you can see my door latch is right here. I just removed it from the door. I have to take it all apart again. Here's my new switch. And the old one, I need the screw from the old one. That's the only reason I have that. But real simple. It just basically mounts like this, like you see it like that. And then the screw goes through the side here and just locks it in place. It is adjustable. So we'll see what it looks like when I get it on here in a second. All right, you see the new switch is now in place, just locked in place with that simple screw there. There is an adjustment, so I didn't want to put too much pressure on that brand new tang there, so it has a longer life, hopefully. Right now the door is in the closed position, so you can see the contacts are not making contact with that cam right now. So let me slide this open real quick, or unlock it, or whatever I need to do here to engage that. Okay, there we go. So now, oops. So now the door is in the open position, and you can see the contacts there making contact with the cam. And this, of course, has to be grounded to the door for that single contact to turn the lights on. So I'm going to mount it in the door now, test the operation out, but pretty simple. All right, between rain showers, I managed to get the switch on, installed, and working. You can see as I'm opening the door here, the lights popped on. So it's in place, works beautifully. So that should be the last time I ever have to deal with that switch on this door anyway. Hopefully the other one will continue to hold. So now I just need to put my door panels back on, get that back together, and then I'm going to start on the air conditioning compressor, weather permitting. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I finished putting my door back together, so I was successful in replacing that little light switch, which also serves as the door open warning switch. So that's done. I have an interesting little problem on that side of the car still with the reading light. Sometimes that light comes on, sometimes it doesn't. I know it's not the light bulb because I've swapped it out with the one on the other side and it still does the same thing. I thought maybe it had a faulty ground, but that didn't make any difference grounding it manually. So that light comes on sometimes and other times it doesn't. So something I'll deal with in the future. So and I've already mentioned that I found out what was wrong on at the rear of the car. I'm just hoping I can get a proper muffler with the built-in pipe. I can just mate it to the flange. My plan B on that is if I can't get one, at least not right away, then I'll just use some baling wire or something and just forcibly pull that thing away from the tire enough where it won't rub against it. So my plan then was to move to the AC compressor, install it, put a belt on, and try it out. But then I thought maybe I better make sure that that thing is even going to turn before I go through all that. And I'm glad I did. So here it is sitting right here. And I took a wrench on the end here and I attempted to turn it clockwise. It wouldn't budge. In fact, all it started to do was tighten even tighter than it already is, which I don't want to do. So now I'm glad that I didn't try to install it. I have all the pulleys and the brackets, all the bolts and everything are here ready to go, but I'm glad I didn't go through the trouble of trying to install this because that would have been a waste of time and probably ruined the belt in the process if the clutch engaged and couldn't turn it. My intent all along was to replace this compressor and clutch anyway. Eventually, I was just going to see if maybe I got lucky and had something that might hold me until that time, but so now I'm not going to install this at all. So I'll look and see what a replacement might cost, and I'll decide if I want to invest in that right now or not. So that's it for the day. Have a good evening.